Hi, I'm Donna. Welcome back to my channel. This vlog is still in connection with our first 12 months living here in Japan. If you have not seen the first video yet that I've talked about the 12 things that we come to like on our 12 months here in Japan, I will link it here. While this vlog will talk about the things that we find it difficult living here or things that we can get used to while we live here already for 12 months. And here are the things that we can get used to. We've been living here in Japan for 12 months now. Of course, there are also things that we can get used to, or there are things that we quite find it difficult to understand. Japan is known for its advanced technology, but the country still heavily relies on cash system. You can't believe that even big supermarkets or grocery stores or a chain of known stores in Japan still heavily relies on a cash system. They don't have an automated card payment system. So we find it inconvenience most of the time. For example, this ramen shop where we're about to take our lunch, they only accept cash. Not only this, most of the ramen shop all over Japan basically accept mostly only cash because they do it in a vending machine. Did you take the 500 in there? Number 2, speaking of heavily rely on cash, it is also inconvenient because their banking system is also difficult for us. Because first, they could not distinguish between credit card and debit card. I think even the bank teller doesn't actually have a lot of debit card application. So, having said that, it is also very inconvenient to find any ATM machine. It's not that you can just find any ATM machine everywhere. So, you really have to be loaded to go out, like physically loaded with a lot of money with you, unless you don't intend to shop. And also, their ATM machines is not 24 hours. Sometimes they will charge you with a particular hour of withdrawing money. Normally on a convenience store like 7-Eleven, Lawson, or there's another one, Family Mart, you will see an ATM. So if you run out of cash, you can actually withdraw from it. But then, like for this one, I'll show you it. And the one that I'm saying, sometimes they will charge for a withdrawal or sometimes no. But for this one, look at this one here. So between this time and this time, you will be charged with 220, and this one you will be charged with 110, and I don't want that, so I'm not going to withdraw from here. So like for example, in a month you're going to withdraw 10 times, that's maybe 2,000 or 1,000 yen already. Now I really have to make a trip to go to my bank ATM because I don't want to be charged. So in here, I am not so sure if this is 24 hours, but this is in shopping center. So I suppose if shopping mall closes, this is also closed. So if you're using your bank, you wouldn't be charged with withdrawal charge. It just really takes an effort and a planning if you want to save at least thousands of yen per month. Because when we were here, for the first few months, we didn't realize that, and we've been losing a lot of charges every time we withdraw because we're not really used to holding a lot of money with us. Because in my entire professional life, I use card a lot when I live in Singapore, and my husband as well. So when we live here, we kind of struggle how to handle a lot of money and not using cards so much. So that's just one of the things that makes it difficult for us in our first 12 months here in Japan. This is not a small shop and this is a chain. So you would think that they use a card system for payment, but it's not. I like going here compared to local grocery stores because over here they do have imported stuff from Thailand. Filipino stuff and Thai stuff are almost similar, so that is the closest I get to taste food from home. They also have a European stuff here. Some of the stuff that you can get in a local store, you can get it from here. So I like coming back here, but the downside is they don't accept card as a payment. They don't even have ATM inside to withdraw. It's just frustrating that sometimes when you run out of cash, they don't even have ATM inside. So that's the downside. That's particularly one of the things that we can get used to here in Japan. Basically, when you go out, you always have to go out loaded. We are here in Costco. We parked our little bikes and we are heading in for a buffet. So this is why we like going here in Costco, because this is the cheapest meal. Does it says where from?
America or Mexico. Tropic or Mexico.
Pineapple for sure. You didn't say from, oh, it says Philippines. So we also can get used to a very narrow road that leads to the residential area. And most of these roads has the open drainage on the side. It is quite scary. But for 12 months here, we've never seen any accident yet. It's not that we wanted to see an accident, but for me personally, if you are cycling, it is very dangerous, especially at night. And even two small Japanese cars, it has difficulty going through a small residential road. So that's one of the things that we can get used to. This is our residential road. So there's a cycling path there. This is the car, and if there's one car coming in, you really have to go right on the side, and that side and this side, the drainage is open. This is not only here, it's like everywhere. So this one, they cover it. Some part, they cover it, which is like the intersection, but the whole lot, they won't. When they say it is expensive in Japan, these are the things that you find expensive. Toll fee, taxi, parking space, fruits and vegetables, and actually food. It is expensive. So when we first came in here in Japan, that's the first time we took a taxi from Kansai International Airport just to cross the bridge to go to the hotel, which is part of Izumisano City, which is just 8 minutes away. And the taxi cost us 11,000 yen. So that's around 5,500 pesos or around 105 US dollar. I think it is very expensive. And after that, we've never taken any taxi after 12 months. Their parking system as well, I think it is also very expensive. And speaking of expensive, their toll fee is also up there, very expensive. I think that's the price of having a very convenient lifestyle and living in a first world country. But that's just us. We can't just get used to it because for us it's still very expensive.
Konnichiwa. Sorry. Hello.
We can get used to how expensive the fruits and vegetables are here in Japan. Like for a person like me who grew up in a farm, with a farm, and also in an agricultural city in the Philippines, basically fruits and vegetables are cheap. And when I grew up and live in Singapore. It's also quite reasonable, but when we reach here, it's quite dear or expensive. So that's one thing that I can't get used to, because my diet is consists of fruits, vegetable, fish, and also fish is quite expensive. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that these are the things that we can get used to in our 12 months living here in Japan. Speaking of expensive, we live in Jeddah and in Dammam, Saudi Arabia for almost 2 years, and fruits and vegetables is very cheap, knowing that Saudi doesn't produce them, or they are part of Saudi that produce them, but most of the Saudi fruits and vegetables are imported, but it's very cheap. In here, I think it's a good thing for locals, because farmers basically produce all their agricultural product. They have a very little imported agricultural products, and in the local point of view, or in a farmer point of view, it's good for them. So Japan is one of the first world country, and we can see a lot of Japanese companies branch out internationally, and it is surprising that there are still so many locals that cannot speak a word of English. It is good for Japanese culture though, because they maintain their language, their traditions, and their cultures. It's just that it is very frustrating for me. But to tell you honestly, when I was in university, I studied Nippongo or Kanji as foreign language, because I intend to study in Japan for my masteral. But that's another story. Anyway, when we came in here 12 months ago, I forgot everything I learned from university. I only knew how to introduce myself, how to count, and that's it. After the lockdown, which is, it doesn't help me a lot because I don't got to speak with locals so much. So now after 12 months here in Japan, I still struggle to speak in Nippongo. But hopefully in the next 12 months, I will be fluent enough, and all those Japanese language that I've learned in university will be back. So let me summarize the things that we can get used to while living here in Japan for 12 months now. It is actually broken down into 6 categories. First is the cash system, and secondly is the banking system, because you can't just find any ATM or any machines that you could withdraw money from. Also, they couldn't distinguish the debit and credit card, so it is quite challenging. And third is the very limited international food option. So for me, I like trying different kind of food, and being stuck in Japan for 12 months gets me bored with food. And number 4 is the narrow road. We can't really get used to that because it is very dangerous, at least for me. Number 5 is the language barrier. We are working on it. On our 12 months here, we still couldn't speak fluent Nippongo, but hopefully in the next 12 months we will be able to at least speak the language. And number 6, which is expensive stuff. So first is the expensive food, fruits and vegetable. I really can't get used to that. Second is the freaking expensive toll fees and expensive parking space, very limited, and also the food options. I think it's not really cheap to live here in Japan. Having said that, of course, that all comes with living in a first world country, I guess, and with all of this convenience that Japan offers. So it comes into this very expensive everything. This vlog is not complaining at all. We are just saying that there are also things that we can get used to while living here in Japan. I think in every country that you go to, there are things that you like, and there are also things that you don't like. So for us, these are the things that we can get used to. Anyway, thank you for watching my video today, and I hope you enjoyed the view of Osaka. This is in Izumizano. We are overlooking the coastline in Kansai region, and it is beautiful. I really hope you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. Until the next video. Bye.